Hello again, friends. Welcome back to twitch.tv/TrooperBerry, and welcome back to Vampire Therapist. Now, we played through the demo actually last month or so, and now, as of midnight yesterday, our time, the game is out in full release. I'm very much looking forward to this. Hey, Ruak, good to see you. Yes. Time for some vampire therapy. Yeah, for those of you not familiar, this is a game. It's by Little Bat Games, indie studio out of Berlin. And the team behind this, I didn't know this until I found their Twitter page. There is a lot of voice talent from Hades in there. Like the main driver behind it was a guy who voiced Dionysus and Ares, and if you know Hades, you'll know how hilarious this is, and Theseus. So you'll be able to pick out who that is pretty quickly, I'm sure. But yeah, let's jump in. I'm eager to see what the full game looks like. It's a comedy game about immortal undead processing historical yet personal traumas. References to historical violence and oppression may be upsetting to some. This game was developed in consultation with a licensed therapist, but should not be considered a substitute for therapy. Unless you're a vampire. And if you're a vampire in chat, you have to tell us.
And I'm a dead man.
It's like being a cop.
Well, kinda dead at least. See, I'm a vampire. Now, if you think that means all that Dracula hooey, like hissing, wearing skin-tight leather, and hunting mortals for sport, I wouldn't blame you one bit.
Well, the skin-tight leather thing
That's
might still
exactly the sort of thing I did in my younger years with my former gang. And let me tell you, a vampire who's good with a gun can be a real terror. I got lucky, though. I met some kind mortals who saw beyond my fangs. They taught me my letters and showed me how my thinking was keeping me from finding any kind of peace. After they passed on, I roamed America's majestic wilderness for nigh on 90 years, figuring out myself and what it means to be a vampire. And I found revelation. What I realized was, it ain't fangs that make us monsters. It's the self-defeating ways we think. Anywho, as the world started getting smaller, my old vampire gang tracked me down. Them being my kin, I wanted to help them see the world like I did, but they still have the same monster mindset I used to have. Good thing I'm a quick draw.
But another voice acting that said, yeah, there's some serious talent behind this
internet thing, and found a vampire who's helping my kin find their way. Fella named Andromachos, supposed to be 3,000 years old. He invited me to come out to Europe to learn from him. I figure someone older than time has got to have the answers. I'm going on a trip, I guess. This feels like my opportunity to do some good in the world. I've been lucky, and now it's time to give back.
Yeah, America to Europe.
Vampires ain't monsters.
Europe,
or at
that
least
country.
They don't have to be. And come hell or high water, I'm gonna prove it to them.
Oh, there you go. There's your backstory. Let's get to modern day.
Well, I think this is the address. Number 27, Clean Flitter Mouse Streeb?
Kleinfleder Mausstrasse. Or something like that. Yeah, the American, I think as the game will point out, the only thing Americans are less comfortable with than pronouncing foreign words and names is sex.
Sure is a hell of a lot of ruckus for this time of night. People stay up late here. Wait a minute. These folk are vampires. Better watch myself. Guten Abend, folks. Sprechen Sie English?
Good effort, Sam. Good effort.
Yeah, hello, Alta. Are you here to party with us at the hottest club?
Okay, well, yeah, we have Reinhard. Yes, Reinhard. Tell me about the club.
Well, what's so special about this club?
Immernacht is the greatest club aller Zeiten. The owner makes sure everyone has a good time.
If anyone acts without respect, they are banned from the club forever. You are free to do and be whatever you like. As long as you're humming no one.
That's a lovely thought.
Und I hear that they are now attracting sexy old cowboys.
Shh, Maxi. He is old enough to be your grandfather.
Oh, come on now. You're just flattering me. I'm only a couple 100 years old.
Oh mein Gott, he is so cute, Reinhard. Can I keep him?
Yeah, let's go out the dress code. I think there's a little bit of a mismatch there, I dare say.
I don't think what I'm wearing will fit the dress code.
The cowboy look is total sexy, but you will get a bit sweaty.
I hope we will all get a bit sweaty.
Good thing we run a little on the cold side, huh?
Don't worry, my Liebling. We make each other warm.
Reinhard, stop. Don't scare the American. I want to do that.
Yes, don't scare the Americans.
Maxi Liebchen, you're so naughty tonight.
No, you are the naughty one.
No, you are the naughty one. You stop.
Oh, I definitely ain't an American no more.
Okay, we'll ask about Andy.
I'm looking for Andromachos.
You mean the club owner? Yeah, that is why we are here.
If you're lucky, he will invite us to the private party at the end of the night.
Well, what happens there?
I think maybe it is too kinky for Americans to hear.
That would be most things, Maxi. Bringing memories? Oh, good. Yeah, although they're good memories, I hope.
I can cut loose. What kind of party is this?
The kind where we dance all night and get sexy.
Yeah, I'll get sexy.
Oh, here are them kind of vampires.
Ach so, there are better things to suck than blood, oder?
Although we have to get past the bouncer first. If we do not, I'm thinking our night is ruined.
Uh-oh. Our spidey sense is tingling.
Oh, wait a sec. There's something about what she just said. I can feel it.
Oh, interesting. There's more echo there than there was previously.
It reminds me of one of my revelations about the funny patterns in the way we vampires think. Well, let's see. One type of thinking I noticed I called hot branding. That's when we brand ourselves with names we can't get rid of. There's high noon mind. That's when we treat a situation like it's a do or die showdown. And there's saloon thinking. That's when we act either helpless or invincible, like we've just drunk a pint of moonshine. I can always check my journal if I need examples. I kept all my notes about the funny ways we vampires think in there.
And the fact that it's glowing tells us we should probably click on that. Yep. We have the collected notes of Sam Walls. Private property, do not read, reported found, cowboy bloodsucker at vmail.com. Haha, very funny. The fellow's little notebook and bring 13 between Europe. He'll organize my thoughts, and you can tell he's American because he uses a Z in organize. Separating the sections so you can jump to them right quick. That way, when I need to get to a particular section of my notes, all I gotta do is hop over to that section. Easy as falling off a horse. And falling off a horse is real easy. Yes, Vmail, not sus at all. No. Alright. So we're supposed to look at cognitive distortions. I realize we vampires can think in funny ways sometimes, like reality's right in front of us and we just can't see it. Heck, I'm pretty sure it's all humans who do that, not just vampires. We do think funny thinking in particular ways. So I figured I'd write them down so I don't forget them. I'll include examples so I remember how they work. Okay, so we have high noon mind. That's the one it's a showdown. Sometimes things that seem black or white, win or lose, feast or famine, live or die. Like everything's a big showdown. It can feel like we got only two options, win of the day or ended up with a stake in the heart. That's high noon mind. That's thinking in the extremes and ignoring all the in-between. We stress ourselves out when stakes are high. So if I can't get the saddle, my butt's gonna break. Or either I show up ready to win the rodeo or I better just not show up. Okay, so it's I don't think that's catastrophic thinking, but it's like as it says, it's thinking at the extremes. We got saloon thinking. A lot of us bloodsuckers have a habit either of feeling responsibility or soul control, or of feeling completely helpless. Thing is, usually neither is true. Feeling hopeless don't mean we're powerless, and feeling untouchable don't mean we're invincible. That's saloon thinking. Our real capabilities are somewhere in between. So, with my dark powers, vampires shall dominate the mortal world. Or, I can't deal with the bureaucracy of international travel with my coffin. I'm stuck in the USA forever. And then we have hot branding, or like name calling, basically. Okay, see, here, this is the thing I noted when we played the demo, and actually I mentioned it on Twitter to Little Bat Games on the devs, and they said they picked up on it too. It says a lot of us bloodsuckers and we humans. Now, if we want to do a little close reading, we can think that Sam sees vampires as still being human. Interesting. Anyway, we humans sometimes call ourselves awful names. I'm a failure. I'm unlikable. It's like burning ourselves with a big old branding iron. Every time we look at ourselves, we'll keep seeing those names. Hot branding is just calling ourselves names that do no good. Examples: I missed that shot. I'm such a butterfingers. Or crying over a horse. They're sappy as hell. Okay.
I think I know which one of them funny ways they're thinking in, though. Hold on, compadres. You seem like the kind who can make their own fun.
I don't want to have my own fun. Imenach is the only place to be on Friday night.
Right. So they say if we don't get in, our night is ruined. So that'd probably be high noon mind.
Amigos, you're putting too much weight on this thing. It's a nightclub, not a high noon showdown. The night's full of possibilities.
Oh, we even got an achievement. First blood. Identify your first cognitive distortion. Woohoo! We love achievements here. Alright, maybe because he thinks of himself as human because he still sees flaws in himself. Maybe. I'm sure. I guess I'm gonna give the devs and the writers credit that this will get fleshed out over time. If not, well, that's what fan theories are for.
Reinhard, I don't know what this means, but I like the way the sexy American talks.
I don't think that was the desired effect.
You make us think that maybe it is better we haven't gotten into the club, because we are now meeting you.
Hey, if meeting me makes your night better, I'm glad we met. I really gotta find Andromachos, though.
You have to get past the bouncer. He decides who gets in and who doesn't. And he hasn't looked our way all night.
Maybe I'll have a little word with him. Excuse me, friend. I hear you're the man to talk to around these parts.
He seems nice.
I'm here to see Andromachos.
See? Growls thoughtfully.
Have fun, mate.
Hey, thanks, amigo. You have yourself a fine night, you hear?
Cowboy, what about us?
Oh, come on. How? Look at these two kids. How could we possibly not bring them joy?
Yeah, sure. They're friends of mine.
Have fun, mate.
Well, come on, you two. We ain't got all night. Yeah.
You dropped into the demo.
Loud in here.
Oh, they still got in. Okay, good. Well, yeah, I guess that would make sense considering what happens later.
Come on, my liver, dance with us!
Well, you kids have fun. I'll catch up with you later. Tarnation, I'd rather hear a gopher giving birth than this.
That presumes he's heard gophers give birth. Guess it gets awful lonely out there.
I better talk to whoever's slinging drinks in this here saloon. They ought to know where Andromachos is. But pardon me, ma'am.
Well, look at you. We get a lot of 80s fashion in here, but not usually the 1880s. What can I get you, cowboy? The special's Red Bull and vodka. You down?
I never drink Red Bull.
Ha ha! I understood that. I got that reference. For those who don't, in the original Dracula and in ones after, when Dracula welcomes Renfield to his castle and serves him dinner, he offers him a drink, And then when Renfield says, "Oh, aren't you going to have a drink?" And then Dracula says, "I never drink wine." And I will say, if anyone saw that recent, I think it was last year, the movie Renfield came out with Nicolas Cage playing Dracula, they actually do replicate that scene early on, like right down to the grainy black and white footage. It's just, I was so happy. I mean, I was so happy to see Nicolas Cage playing Dracula, period, but that was just the cherry on top. Anyway.
I'm actually looking for the owner. He around tonight?
Might be. What do you say your name was?
Sam Walls, begging your pardon.
Sam Walls, huh? I don't think I know anything about a Sam Walls. After all, I'm just a know-nothing bartender.
Okay, see, nope, nope, that's calling yourself names. We do not support that kind of behavior.
From where I'm standing, I see someone with style and confidence, not just a drink machine. Don't go branding yourself like that's all you are.
Don't you go worrying about me, cowboy. The man upstairs warned me you were coming. I was just testing to see if you are who you say you are. Tell you what, let me give you something from our special reserve. I don't think you're looking for booze.
Well, thank you kindly, ma'am. I was wondering where the blood was. I met some vampires outside, so I figured this was a vampire club.
You met some goths, honey. They're here to dance and have fun.
Easy mistake. Don't worry about it, Sam.
So all these people are mortals?
How do you think the head vampire gets his blood? They can't wait to share it with him. It's a special experience.
And that kind of does track. I think that in other I guess other series is vampire lore, like so when the vampire bites, it's not traumatic. It's actually a euphoric experience. And so and which explains why not only are they eager to do so, but they're eager to come back for more.
He's the only real vampire here. Well, him and Bert.
Bert?
You met him already. Bert, shuffle on over here.
Hi, Bert.
This one's here to see the big guy. Show him upstairs, okay?
Have fun, mate.
Bert's a vampire in a few words, but he's cool.
Good luck up there, cowboy. Hope you find what you're looking for.
Howdy. It's Sam Walls to see you, sir. The guy who's been sending you all them V-mails.
Yeah, V-mail.
Yes, I know who you are, Samuel Walls. You have come here because you believe you can help our kin.
Look, Lord Ares, is that you?
The question is, are you first able to help yourself?
Okay. So now, in the demo, I said I can help myself. I can. Yeah. See, that strikes me as too pessimistic. And Sam seems like a pretty chipper, kind of upbeat guy. Like I think he believes he can help himself.
I've been fixing myself for more than a century now. I don't think I need help.
Then you must prepare to learn a most difficult lesson. We all need help, Samuel. I am pleased that you have come to receive mine.
Dang, you scared the heck out of me.
You must allow an ancient vampire his games. He will play them regardless. Please, sit down. What an absolute pleasure it is to meet you at last. I found your messages most intriguing.
Okay, so if he said, like, so if we had Sam say he couldn't help him, so he can't help himself, and therefore he's here for Andromachos' help, or excuse me, Andromachos' help. I mean, okay, that would make sense, but I am maybe I'm projecting onto Sam here, but I think he seems like the kind of guy who is confident in his own abilities.
Afraid there ain't much here in the way of intrigue. I'm just a lonesome cowboy looking for answers.
Oh.
You know, I receive emails every day from vampires seeking my help. You are the very first to seek my aid in helping others. This alone makes you intriguing.
Well, dang. I think you're going to be sorely disappointed when you get to talking to me. I'm just honored you're giving me the time of night.
Or Sam might just turn me into a liar. What do I know?
I have unlimited time, Samuel. I am pleased to share some of it with you. Our kind can be rather set in their ways. It is inspiring to see someone so young and eager to learn.
Yeah, he's only a couple 100 years old. And like Andromachos here is like 3,000 or so. He's like a young whippersnapper.
Yeah, well, I wasn't much for learning when I was alive. Just making up for lost time, I guess.
It sounds as though you have been handling your own life better than most. I was particularly intrigued by these revelations you had while walking in nature.
Oh, yeah, them. Well, I give walking the credit. Nothing sorts my thoughts out better. After a few decades, I started seeing patterns in the way we vampires think.
Can you explain some of these patterns?
I've tried to explain them to other vampires, but it ain't never gone well. I can try, though. See, we tend to assume certain things just because we've been believing them since we were alive. Or we decide the world's against us just because we're hungry or tired or something.
See? Even vampires get hangry.
And when we start tackling problems that ain't real, we ain't fixing our real problems. That make any kind of sense?
Sam, that makes all kinds of sense.
Fascinating, Samuel. These revelations that you had in the woods, mortal psychologists have a term for them. They are called cognitive distortions.
Cognitive whoozy what now?
Oh, Sam, come on now. Distortion, 3 syllables. It's not hard.
Cognitive distortions. They are exactly as you described them. I will explain in a moment. Please, tell me about these specific revelations you had.
Okay, yeah, well, we'll just work our way across here. And we'll start with High Noon Mind, which we had with Maxi. Yeah.
Well, I noticed how we stress ourselves out by making everything a battle of do-or-die absolutes. High Noon Mind, I call it. Like that feeling you get right before a big shootout.
I must confess I have no experience with this feeling. I engaged in mortal combat long before the age of gunpowder.
Well, but sure, but he had to have engaged in, 1 or 2 rounds of gladiatorial combat, right?
But the sentiment you describe mirrors the words of my old friend Marcus Aurelius. He used to say that the magnitude of life's challenges often turn us into our worst selves.
Marky. Now I'm picturing Marcus Aurelius with like a mock Boston accent. Anyway, earlier said the game has voice acting for everything. Your German is on point. Oh, well, that's very kind of you to say, Ruak. Seeing as I've never studied German at all. I left that to my brother. I chickened out and studied French.
You mean Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor?
Of course, his name was Marcus. Marky was a bedroom name.
You mean you and the emperor were...
It was ancient Rome. Penetration was similar to a handshake.
Whoo!
My apologies. I somehow forgot you were American. But let us discuss this High Noon Mind.
Okay. I have been and will be full of praise for this game. But just okay, the insinuations that Americans don't like to talk about sex. And moreover, like people in Germany of all places are more sexually liberated. I would press X to doubt if I was playing on a controller. I protest, sir. Imagine meeting 5 friends on a walk in a park. I think I. Oh, okay. Oh, with the okay, right. Okay, I got okay. Now I caught up to what you were saying there, Ruak. Yeah. That would take a bit.
I believe we can broaden your definition. Mortal psychologists call this phenomenon of binary thought polarized thinking, but I like to call it Nosferatu thinking.
So yeah, so I think we have updated our journal here. Nope. What? Excuse? There we go. Right, so now we have Nosferatu thinking. Yeah, Nosferatu thinking. It's thinking in the extremes and ignoring all the in between. Okay, yeah. So you just change the title. Text is the same.
Nosferatu thinking?
It means you are thinking in black and white.
Well, if he'd called it Dracula thinking, that would have been a bit too on the nose, presumably.
I get it. That's pretty funny.
I believe it encompasses the breadth of the distortion. One is not flatly weak or strong, good or evil, smart or stupid, a success or a failure. The truth is far more complex and colorful. Not every high noon gunfight ends in oblivion, correct?
Well, yeah, that's true. Getting shot still ain't fun, but it ain't the end neither.
A perfect example, Samuel. Now, try to catch me using Nosferatu thinking.
Okay, yeah, so polarized binary thinking at the extremes.
I will give you a series of statements, and one of them will contain Nosferatu thinking. I will repeat them if you miss it. If I do not drink blood, I will surely die.
Okay, that's just, yeah, for a vampire, that's just facts.
Death eventually comes for us all.
I mean, yeah?
Mortals will always fear our kind.
Okay, I question that.
That's Nosferatu thinking right there. I've met mortals who knew who I was and weren't scared.
Very good, Samuel. And even if you hadn't, to say mortals will always fear us ends any hope that they might not.
Interesting. So now in the previous ones and in the demo, when you got the answer correct, you got that little spurt of blood. I didn't see one there though.
Always is such a terminal word, is it not? Would you like to discuss more of your revelations with me?
Sure, let's go with saloon thinking.
I realize that as vampires, we can get the feeling of the power that comes with immortality and strength, but then we get hopeless and aimless over time. It's kind of like the fella you see in the saloon at the bottom of a bottle of whiskey. Either he thinks he can fight everyone, or he's crying into them last drops because he thinks life's hopeless. It's saloon thinking. Two extremes that probably ain't true.
A fascinating observation, Samuel. Your saloon thinking was described in my time as the battle between hubris and nemesis, the twin excesses of arrogance and self-pity.
Oh man, it make me wish I'd gotten some schooling. Maybe I would have figured this stuff out earlier.
You live forever, my friend. There is no rush. What you have identified is a phenomenon where individuals perceive either an illusion of control or a lack of control.
All right, so more control than you actually have, or thinking you have none when you actually do have control.
Mortal psychologists call this phenomenon you have described a control fallacy.
Yeah, there we go. Control fallacy.
Rarely do we have complete power over our situations or no power at all. But we create this illusion that stops us from attempting to change our perceived situations.
Yeah, you're right about that. I used to think I'd never get away from my gang, and maybe that's what made me stick with them for so long.
Yes, you see how cognitive distortions keep us from facing reality, whatever that reality may be. Of course, I am so old and powerful that I am always in control.
Okay, that is, I mean, that's, it did drop in always, and we did, yes, that is almost certainly a control fallacy.
You're testing me, ain't you? That's a control fallacy right there.
Well done, Samuel. I am indeed very powerful, but the cosmos holds no awareness of Andromachos.
Andromachos. Not Andromachos, not Andy, Andromachos.
Of course, as you expertly pointed out with your analogy about the man at the bottom of a whiskey bottle, a control fallacy can be positive or negative. Listen to my next few statements and try to find a control fallacy. Simply let me continue if you do not detect one.
You did see the blood spatter? Yeah, they did have the blood spatter the last time. Yeah, you're probably right. That might have just been a one-timer.
The sun will eventually burn out. I will roam a cold, dead earth, and there is little I can do about it.
I mean, again, there actually isn't anything you can do to keep the sun from burning out, unless vampires have some other powers that I don't know about. I think we can let that one go.
My kitty cat died. I shall be lonely forever.
Okay, see, there you go. There's you can always get another one.
Oh, I'm sorry about your sweet kitty, but you can always pick up a new one. Or there's lots of them just waiting for a loving home, so you don't need to be lonely.
Okay, well, I think we got that one, but no blood spurt. Oh, we also got an achievement. Confident Cowboy. Get 5. I correctly identify 5 distortions in a row. So someone's keeping score now.
It was just an example, Samuel. Well spotted. But I do speak from experience. I felt this way once when a pharaoh I was dating had our cat mummified. I went into a murderous depression that nearly decimated the continent. But I had the power to help myself all along by adopting a new friend in need of a home.
Oh, dang, don't let me get on your bad side.
I doubt you shall see it, Samuel. Did you have more revelations to tell me about?
Okay, we'll do hot branding. This one seems more straightforward.
See, I used to be in a gang. They were my whole existence. If you asked me who I was, I would have said, I'm a murdering bastard. Once I got away, I realized how small-minded that was. I was Sam before I was a murdering bastard, but that's how I was choosing to brand myself. My old gang's still around, and they're still branding themselves like that. They can't see themselves as anything but killers.
Very astute, Samuel. I favor the clinical term, however, which is labeling.
There we go. So now we have control fallacy, Nosferatu thinking, and labeling. But the text below is still the same.
You correctly discovered that labeling is a reductive act. When we call ourselves names, even if we find them accurate, we create prophecies we are doomed to fulfill. For millennia, I thought of myself as a killer. It was not untrue that killing was how I made my way in the world. I was an unstoppable warrior and assassin. But with this label, I limited myself for ages. I did not only kill people, I also killed potential aspirations I might have had.
Hi, Will. Good to see you. This is not a, as far as I know, this is not a dating sim. This is actually, it's a game that's built on actual cognitive behavioral therapy techniques. So it's basically us learning how to be a therapist to other vampires. So yeah, so we're Sam over here. We are a vampire from the American Old West, and we have come to modern day Berlin to learn therapy from Andromachos, who if you played Hades, the guy who voices Andromachos is also the guy who voiced Ares, Dionysus, and Theseus in the first Hades game. I don't know if he has any credits in the second game. Work is very slow today. Yeah, you and a whole lot of other people. But yeah, we played the demo for this during Steam Next Fest, and I had a great time. So, and now it's out in full release, so we're giving it a full try. Heard about being fixed, and it couldn't even stay broken long enough for your workday. Well, that stinks.
See whether you can catch me doing some labeling in my next few statements.
I think your worker flow and updating. Okay, well there you go. You got a if you can't bring the day to a stop, you can at least drag things out a bit.
I am so old, I am ancient.
Okay, again, that seems like more of a factual statement.
Call me whatever you like, but don't call me late for dinner.
Okay, that's just a hackneyed joke.
How shall I describe myself? Yes, I am a mass murderer.
Okay, there's our labeling.
Well, that's about as clear a labeling as it gets. Yeah, we vampires tend to do a lot of killing, but reducing ourselves to killers ain't doing us any favors.
Excellent, Samuel. You are correct. Labels can be cages that we lock ourselves in. I was a mere murderer for most of my existence because that is how I labeled myself.
Yeah, I did the same thing. Sam Walls, the murderer, reprobate, and good for nothing.
Those are not how I would describe the Sam Walls I see before me. Did you have more revelations to tell me about?
Well, I think we're out.
I think that's all of them. Or at least the ones that were the most obvious to me.
That you recognize the concept of cognitive distortions at all is most impressive, Samuel. What took me nearly 3 millennia to understand took you merely 2 centuries.
So yeah, we're only a couple hundred years old, and Andromachos here is like pushing 3,000.
Oh, come on, you're just flattering me. I'm just a dope stumbling his way through one life.
That's labeling.
Are you now? Tell me, Samuel, what kind of cognitive distortion are you exhibiting when you call yourself a dope?
Yeah, I'm doing some labeling. I gotta watch myself, huh?
As long as we retain any humanity, we will have cognitive distortions. What we are aiming for is not to become perfect beings, but to understand and accept ourselves.
And see, and there's more talk of vampires still having their humanity or being human. We've had a few references to that, mostly in Sam's notebook so far. Although my main other go-to reference for the world of vampires is the World of Darkness and Vampire the Masquerade, and humanity is still a big part of that too.
As long as we can recognize cognitive distortions, we can address our real challenges. One cannot drink blood from a straw man, after all.
But can you drink blood through a straw man?
Huh. I ain't never heard that one before, but I like it.
If it helps solidify the concept in your mind, then I am well satisfied. I know you came to learn from me, so I will do my best to honor your good intentions. Let us ensure that you understand the concepts of labeling, control fallacies, and Nosferatu thinking.
Oh, here we go. Time for a quiz.
I will give you a series of statements, and each one will contain a cognitive distortion for you to identify. I will begin. If I invite over my vampire friends, I know I'm going to have to deal with guano all over the place when they turn into bats at the end of the night.
Okay. Not labeling, because we're not calling ourselves anything. So it's either a control fallacy or Nosferatu thinking. But Nosferatu thinking, or like the high noon thing, it's either it's thinking at the extremes. Either, or it's a control fallacy, and we're either assuming we have no control when we do, or assuming we have control when we don't. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to deal with guano with the best. Yeah, I think that's a control fallacy. We're assuming that there's nothing we can do to stop the guano.
Well, there's a control fallacy, sir. You're acting like you've got no control, but you could lay down some ground rules for guests, or some newspaper.
Or express concern to my friends that they have not been toilet trained. Very good, Samuel. Let me try another. I am Andromachos, the ancient darkness, the scourge of the Mediterranean, the mortal's bane.
I mean, that's just a hat trick of labels right there.
Well, that's definitely some intense labeling. Those are some hard names to get over.
You are not wrong. Those names followed me for millennia. It was most stifling. Let me try another then. If my club's revenues do not significantly increase, I will end up living on the street.
Okay, now that is definitely black and white thinking. So yeah, like it's an if-then statement. It's like it's either if we don't get big profits, then we're going to be homeless. But like there's no, it ignores the massive in between.
There's got to be Nosferatu thinking. There's a huge space between making a ton of profit and living on the street.
And there's another achievement. So so we got 10 distortions correct in a row. I don't know how I feel about the game keeping score all of a sudden.
Indeed, you are correct. I run my club at a considerable loss, but 3,000 years of banking interest means that money is not really an object to me anyway.
Oh, that must be a nice feeling. 3,000 years of compound interest.
Samuel, now I am not only intrigued by you, but also impressed. I would very much like to teach you my ways, but I must demand something of you first.
Anything. I'm here to learn.
You must receive therapy yourself. I will not have you seeing clients without a commitment to your own mental health.
Oh, now, hold on just a minute. I don't know that I need therapy. I'm feeling pretty good about myself these days.
Samuel, we all need therapy to live in this world. You have been speaking in cognitive distortions since the moment you walked into my office.
You get that, chat? We all need therapy to live in this world. And all is in italics, so you know it means you too.
I have. I didn't even notice.
They are most insidious, but I am here to help you identify and challenge them. You have walked alone for too long, Samuel. Allow me to share my experience with you.
Well, all right, if you say so. I appreciate your taking the time to work on this, old cowpoke.
well, okay. Those of you who are already in therapy, we'll let that slide.
We have all the time in the world, Samuel. But for now, you must be eager for something fresh. Please, dance. Drink your fill. We will begin tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't know that we get a chance to see Sam dance. I don't know if Sam would give us the chance to watch him dance. He seems profoundly uncomfortable with the idea.
Okay, then. Well, sir, it's been an honor.
You don't have to call me sir, you know.
All right, then, Andromachos.
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 Hey, Andromachus.
Andromachos.
Just call me Andy.
Yep, Americans can't pronounce anything foreign. That's why in my home state of Nebraska there is a town that is spelled Cairo, but is pronounced Cairo. Don't ask me why.
All right, Andy. I'll see you tomorrow then.
Hello? Oh, okay.
Dang, look at all them mortals, sweating, blood pumping. I am thirsty. There ain't no power on this earth that'll get me on the dance floor.
Yeah, there we go. What is new here? Let's see. Oh, here you go. And this is very nice. So when the journal gets updated and you pull it open, it'll actually take you right to the new stuff. So, we all make cognitive distortions. Cognitive distortion types ain't weapons to beat ourselves up with. They're just ways to categorize our thoughts. We can exhibit more than one distortion at the same time, and some distortions are even subcategories of other distortions. Important. Identifying cognitive distortions is just one tool in a therapist's toolbox. Empathy and compassion are some of the best tools we've got.
Maybe I'll see if the bartender's got anything for me.
If it isn't Clint Eastwood again. How'd it go, cowboy?
Seems I'll be sticking around. Guess I'd better get used to things around here.
Good to hear. About time someone helped Andy with his work. Seems you vampires have a lot of problems to fix. Name's Crimson, by the way.
Fine meeting you, Crimson. How do you know so much about what Andy's doing?
Pillow talk. I'm his blood partner.
No shit. How's a mortal get hooked up with an ancient vampire?
I'm a rock climber. I stumbled into one of his lairs in Madagascar, found a cave while climbing a mountain, and there he was, naked in a hot tub.
A hot tub in a mountain in Madagascar. That cannot have been cheap to get there, unless it was like a geothermal vent, I guess. And you just put a hot tub on top of it.
Dang, must have been a sight.
You ain't kidding, cowboy. Didn't expect a luxury apartment with a gorgeous naked vampire inside of a mountain. We hit it off, and he asked me to come back here with him. I like an adventure, so I said, what the hell? I'll date the gorgeous Dracula. But what are you doing talking to me, cowboy? The blood's running hot on the dance floor, and these kids don't mind a little biting.
Ain't no way I'm dancing. There's gotta be a better way to get something fresh to drink.
Reinhard, look, it's the sexy old guy again.
Oh yeah, it's our sexy ghost friends. Oh.
You should buy us a drink, old guy. You'll probably get lucky. Actually, you will definitely get lucky.
Well, pleasures of the flesh ain't exactly what I'm after tonight.
That's because you haven't experienced these pleasures with us yet. Buy us a drink and you will discover great satisfaction by uns.
It is interesting that we don't have the option to just say okay. We gotta. They're not our type. Alcohol is bad. Look, imagine telling someone in a club, right in front of a bar, that alcohol is bad for them. You think, how's that message going to go over? We don't have the money. Well, that's probably true. I mean, we had to have exchanged our USD for euros, right? All right, well we'll go through the dialogue options.
I ain't buying you a drink. You ain't exactly my type.
Oh, we don't want to marry you. We just want to have fun with you.
You kids are too much.
Okay, but don't you know alcohol is bad for you?
I ain't buying you a drink. This stuff's terrible for you.
Are you making a joke? We are at a bar.
See?
It's okay. He's just trying to be protective. Aren't you, Opa?
You know, I think the drinks here ain't strong enough for you two. I ain't buying you a drink. All I got are good old-fashioned dollars.
I like American money. All we have on our money are buildings. You have all the sexy old men.
So yeah, Maxi has a type.
All right, I'll buy it. Which of them old men are sexy?
I like Hamilton. His posture is just so powerful.
There is a dollar coin that has Eisenhower's face on it.
Oh, you are right. Eisenhower is, how do you Americans say, a snack?
I get it. You like older men. I ain't buying you a drink. I think I'd be insulting your economic status.
Mein Lieber, don't worry about us. We just like to feel special. We have lucrative jobs in IT.
There you go. There it is. I got into the wrong damn business.
Oh, yeah? Well, maybe you can help me. See, my printer died again. I'm getting real tired of these things.
Oh, please, we are here to party. But get a laser printer.
Well, thanks for the tip. That ink seems to be more valuable than blood. Well, these kids just ain't gonna leave me alone.
Oh, that's very kind of you, Rack. Thank you. That's all right. I got all the advice not to go into this field before I was even done with high school, so I have no one to blame for this but myself.
Stop teasing the cowboy, Kinder. They're just messing with you. Drinks are free here.
Dang, really? Ain't never been to a saloon with free hooch.
Call it a drink exchange.
Huh. So, everyone here knows they might be sharing blood?
Only as long as there's consent. We like to create a safe environment here. Why don't you take Reinhard and Maxi here back to the kink room?
Okay, now I know I was ragging on the assumptions of European superior sex positivity, but if they have a dedicated kink room, okay, most bars in the U.S. probably don't have a dedicated kink room. Fine.
Wait, kink room?
Mm-hmm. You're not in Kansas anymore, cowboy. We are not afraid of sex here.
I'm from Missouri, but point taken.
Nobody has to do anything they don't want to do in there. Just have fun and drink your fill, handsome. I'm sure I'll be seeing plenty of you.
You don't have to agree. Honestly, Ruak, I don't know. I don't go to bars. I don't even drink. So I could not give you an informed answer on that.
Maxi, Reinhard, this is one of our special customers.
Ach so, ein Vampir. I'm thinking we are all getting lucky then.
My neck scrubs with anticipation.
Dang. Guess I'm going to a kink room then. Thanks, Crimson.
I knew a man who wore this much leather couldn't be boring.
Yeah, well, you got me pegged.
Is that what we are doing now? Give me the document and I will sign myself up for it.
Meaning lost in translation there.
I really ain't in Missouri no more. Look, I'm more into biting.
Oh, your teeth look perfect. Are you going to bite me with those?
That's the plan. Who's going first?
Oh, me.
Okay, now I remember this from the demo. We want to aim for the red bits. We want the... Yeah, we want... Okay, it's been so long since my last anatomy class. There are arteries and veins. We want the red ones.
Well, step right on up.
I don't... Well, maybe I'll do some research between streams. Yeah, so we want... So bite the veins.
Oh, das hat sich gut angefühlt.
Now, it's interesting. It said bite the veins. It said that in blue, but the veins we're looking for are red. I think.
Oh, that's a good thing.
Is it my turn yet?
Sure thing. Come on over.
Ouch! Meine Arterien!
Okay, so we don't want that.
Dang it, let me try that again.
Okay,
Nicht meine Arterien.
Shucks, my aim's off tonight.
Oh, Reinhard. The hot old vampire wore me out.
Me too, Maxi. I feel as though I have set up a mail server.
okay, I can see that minigame being a bit of an issue, especially if there starts to be time pressure. Veins are blue, they have less oxygen. Okay. Oh, interesting. They okay, I guess that line didn't get voiced. So, to maintain our immersion, I will pick up the slack here. Reinhard, my Zuckerflirte Maus, ich bin so müde, sexy zu sein.
I will get us a taxi cab, Liebchen. Und du, cowboy? Next time we will talk about that thing you mentioned earlier.
The pegging?
Oh yeah, sure thing, fella. You can help me with my new laser printer. Now that I've had something to drink, I should probably get to my coffin.
Samuel, wait a moment. I see you got your fill. Are you heading out?
Oh, arteries are red. Okay, right near. Okay, yeah, okay. Yeah, thank you, Rurak.
Yeah, I figure I could use some shut-eye. I locked up my coffin over at the storage center.
Storage center? Please, you can use my guest coffin. I insist. You must be well rested for the challenges ahead.
Okay, so we have to have euros. Otherwise, how could we have paid for a storage center?
Guess I got a big night tomorrow, huh? I should get a good day's sleep.
Wonderful. Please, follow me.
Well, dang. This is mighty plush. Guess it's one of them smart coffins.
I don't know, a cathode. Well, I mean, I don't know what the latest coffin technology is. Maybe you have a cathode ray tube TV and is actually a smart coffin. No. Yes, thank you very much for that, Ruek. So I can only assume my German was once again on point.
Let's see what's on TV. Hey, I remember this movie. We were so proud to finally get some representation.
Now, this is... Yeah, I think this is Nosferatu, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so it does loop. Okay.
Not sure I should stay up watching movies, though. Well, ain't much else to do in here. I think it's about time I hit the hay. Hope I'm cut out for all this.
I was wondering how long the loop will go. I think is Nosferatu public domain now? I'm not sure. Interesting. The curtain closing animation has been held up each time. Okay.
Samuel,
God
good
dang
evening.
it.
I hope you slept well.
It said encoding overloaded again. What the hecking heck? Nothing is moving. All right, hang on. All right. Anyway, and it's not like this game is graphics intensive or anything. Okay, what got updated? No, come on. Oh, there we go. April 11th, 2024. Whew, what a day. I made it to A&E's club in Leipzig. Folks are real nice here. Couple of goths are real friendly. They even got a darn tootin' bartender, and even a friendly greeter. He don't talk too much. T-O-O. But I can tell he's an introspective sort. Now, Andy, that's one hell of a vampire. He's just got this presence. You can tell he's 3,000, and that is freaky as heck. But he makes you feel at home, but naked. I don't know how else to describe it. Oh, and I went to a kink room. Yeah, Sam.All's kink room. My big brother would have got a kick out of that one. I ain't gonna write about it here. I should get some sleep with this fancy coffin, and he let me anyway. Ain't nothing more to read. Current's probably a loading screen. If it maxed something out, the encoding will be okay. Yeah, it's just I hate that. Again, especially like there's no reason for it to be happening, but I think we'll be okay. Anywho's will be moving swiftly along.
Like the dead, as they say.
I was hoping to save you some breakfast, but I've already sent them on their way.
Oh, that's all right. I'm still pretty full from last night. Them goth types were practically throwing themselves at me.
Multiple times, yeah.
I am not surprised. Perhaps I should be concerned that some of my guests will follow you home.
Well, gosh, if I still had mortal circulation, I'd be blushing.
Losing from the loading screen is no big. Yeah, oh yeah. Actually, it does, like, according to OBS, I haven't dropped any frames. It's just I want to keep the the illusion that things are moving smoothly. But yeah, you're absolutely right, Rurik. It is no big deal.
Why are you so embarrassed, Samuel?
Ah, hell. Guess we should just save it for therapy, huh? We gonna get started now?
If you like.
Why not? I'm eager to get going. Let loose, Doc.
Very well. Let's start with the first question any therapist asks then. What brought you to me? Why is becoming a therapist so important to you?
Well, gosh, I remember what it was like. Being all angry, hungry, and scared all the time. It ain't no way to live. When I see vampires acting the way I used to, I just need to show them there's more to unlife.
And why is that up to you?
You, of all people, know how lost our kind can be. Preying on the weak, dating mortal high schoolers.
Ha! I understood that. I got that reference. I don't feel good about it, but I got it.
I've got to make them see their potential. That's what I'm here for. I know it.
That is a lot of responsibility to place on yourself.
You got a funny look in your eye. Am I doing one of them distortion things?
You are most perceptive. Yes. Perhaps you can tell me what it is. When you say you are here to make vampires see the world differently, in what way are you distorting reality?
Okay, well, we're not labeling ourselves, clearly. That's more than likely, we're assuming we have control over other vampires when we might not.
Well, I guess that's a control fallacy, right? I can't assume I'll be able to help other vampires the way I was helped.
Very good, Samuel. Control fallacies are hard to avoid when one feels strongly about something. Your fate is not to transform every vampire you ever meet, even those who are your clients. You will do what you can do, and that is enough. But I am eager to learn how you develop this desire to help our kin find a different way of thinking.
Well, like I told you when I first emailed you, I was a real nasty son of a bitch when I first became a vampire. When I look back and see what a no-account piece of shit I was, I ain't nothing but embarrassed.
Okay, see, now we're getting to the labeling. Hey, Andrea. Good to see you. How you doing? How is your Friday going? Yeah, you can see we're back in Vampire Therapist, and yeah, the game is now out in full release. So it came out in the middle of last night's stream, but as soon as I could, I jumped right on it. Yeah, it's interesting. Like Sam is, Sam's okay with violence and the occasional HBO word, but when the conversation turns to anything even resembling sex, he puckers right up. We get terrible nightmares. Oh no! Oh, that sucks. Sorry. Sometimes you have dreams where you're trying to drive, but you can't seem to stay in the lines. Oh yeah, I can definitely see how that is terrifying. And it's that enforced, I guess, lack of control, especially if you if you got traffic coming the other way, or you got someone else in the car with you. Ever have that one? I don't think so. The dreams I can remember, I don't remember many of them involving driving. Now, maybe that's because I have done my darndest to avoid driving, and thanks to where I've lived, I haven't had to. But do I have a recurring stress dream? Actually, I think I might. Although the the source is slightly embarrassing. It's a you've seen the Gene Wilder Willy Wonka movie, right? And that little the tunnel sequence with all the frightening images. And I guess I have had dreams where I just I wake up and I'm staring down a long hallway and I am drawn somehow into a tunnel like that, and I have no control over anything. I just watch all the horrors around me. And it is because it's wacky. That is it's a fun little childhood movie. Sticks with me in that form. Of course, again, this is me. This is me who had like a week of nightmares from the flying monkeys in The Wizard of Oz. So I was rather high strung as a youth.
It all seems pretty stupid to me now. Here we are living forever, and all we can do is kill. That's the dumbest thing I ever did here.
I'm going to stop you for a moment. Stupid, no account piece of shit, nasty son of a bitch, dumbest thing.
That's because traumatized generations. Okay. Oh, so I'm not alone in that. Okay, I'm glad to hear that. I mean, I'm not glad to hear. I'm not glad to hear other people are traumatized too. But it's nice to not be alone.
Do you hear the way you are talking about yourself?
With respect, sir, I earned all them names. I killed women and children. Half the ghost towns out west are my doing. I didn't think of nobody but myself.
Pretend you are my therapist. If I sat here and called myself a no-account piece of shit, what would you tell me?
Okay, see, now Samuel, it's just because the names seem true, that doesn't mean they're accurate or that they are all that you are. You literally said this last night.
I'd say you were doing some labeling. And I guess I'd tell you to look at yourself a little more kindly.
Extend the same compassion to yourself then, Samuel. How are you to move on from being a nasty son of a bitch if you are labeling yourself? If you wish to be a guide to other vampires, you must start with compassion for them and for yourself.
Yeah, so I don't know if you were here when we played the demo, Andrea, but we are playing Sam Wall's Vampire from the American Old West, and we are learning to be a therapist for other vampires from Andromachos. So we left the U.S. and we came to modern-day Leipzig. Leipzig? I think it's Leipzig. And of course, we are based above a nightclub, which is why it explains the banging tunes in the background.
So, now that you've gotten all that horrible name-calling out of the way, please tell me, how did you find your sense of purpose?
Well, I was on the run, you see. The Wild West was ending, and the Pinkertons were starting to get the better of my gang. I went into hiding and found a strange group of folks out in the country. They knew I was an outlaw right away, but they didn't judge me for it. They didn't even care that I was a vampire. They welcomed me like a friend, even shared their blood with me. They taught me how to appreciate the beauty of the night, and I started seeing things I'd never noticed before. They taught me my letters, philosophy, and how to question things instead of being scared of them. I think about them every day of my own life. They somehow freed themselves of all the judgments of the time and were better off for it.
These must have been the 19th century American transcendentalists, yes?
And this also partly explains the allusion to Thoreau in Walden Pond in the opening cinematic.
Yes, sir. I'm glad I died when I did, because their like just don't exist no more.
Yeah, they call it unlife here rather than afterlife. I'm sure there's some depth, some deep philosophical thought that went into that. I don't know what it is, but that doesn't make it any less valid.
Once my community died out, I started walking. That was something else they taught me how to do. There ain't nothing like having a walk and a think. I walked in nature for about 90 years and just took in all the grace and beauty of my country. I guess I was kind of selfish, though. I should have been helping other vampires the way the Transcendentalists helped me.
Why?
Why?
Thank you, Andromachos. My thoughts exactly.
Why waste 90 years walking when I should have been helping others? Seems pretty obvious to me. I could have done a lot of good in that time.
But your should turns that which you could find fulfilling into a duty. You create an extrinsic motivator. Truth statements are another cognitive distortion, something created by your own mind. Nature asks almost nothing of you.
Okay, we have a new distortion. We have should statements. So, should statements. Sometimes we judge others and ourselves with arbitrary rules and how things should be, and then we get hopping mad when our expectations ain't met. Should statements can put a lot of pressure on us, but there ain't too many universal rules. Heck, we should probably be dead because our hearts ain't beating, but it seems that ain't true. So, examples. I'm a vampire. I should live in a castle. Or, when you're in a gang, the gang needs to be your family and nothing else. Or, a cowboy must never show fear. So, like, should and must are kind of in the same family of statements there.
Even if your should comes from a place of good, it creates undue pressure. And what do we do once we are pressured? We resent the shoulds. We procrastinate. And as you know, we have a lot of time to procrastinate.
And while I am not in the midst of my unlife like these two here, I know procrastination, and boy is it easy to do.
You got that right. Why do today what you could do next century?
Exactly. Should statements remove the intrinsic joy from that which you find fulfilling?
Hold on, though. Ain't there some things we really should do?
Of course, there are things we must do, but nature herself tells us what they are. We invent the rest. Here, let me give you an exercise. Listen closely. See whether you can find the should statement that is a distortion. I should go to the vampire dentist. You know what they say. If you have bad fangs, you get bad blood.
Okay, now, well, one, vampire dentist, that sounds maybe even more horrific than the regular dentist, yes? Okay. Should go to the event. But, I mean, that's also, again, that's also kind of a factual statement. I don't know that that's actually anything wrong. Hey, let me... So creating arbitrary rules. But is go to the dentist an arbitrary rule? I don't know that it is.
I should drink blood today.
Yes, you should. You're a vampire.
I should take my blood partner Crimson out on a date.
Okay, that I think that doesn't. You don't necessarily have to. That feels more arbitrary than the other two. We'll do that one.
Saying you should take Crimson out on a date is a should statement. You've turned something you want to do into something you have to do.
There we go.
That's right, Samuel. You know, I couldn't be more pleased with you. Your time in nature was clearly well spent.
Well, thanks, I suppose. But if you don't mind my saying so, I hope you're treating that mortal lady right.
Thank you. Please, ask her yourself. I imagine she would share her blood with you. You look like her type.
Hold on. I've only been in Europe for a couple of days. I ain't gonna go after my teacher's girlfriend.
She does what she wishes, and that is why I chose her as my blood partner. Samuel, even if it beats no longer, you have a good heart. I think you will be an excellent therapist.
So far, that good heart of mine hasn't amounted to much, but I'm willing to give it my best shot.
You are uncomfortable with praise, aren't you, Samuel? Every time I say something positive, you find a way to negate it.
But as Sam will say, oh no, sir, I'm just trying to be humble. I don't want to get a big head or anything. But see, Sam, when you do that, you make the person who's giving you a compliment feel dumb. And then they start to, and then they don't feel the need to give you compliments anymore.
I just don't think I should be doing any bragging. I spent my first 50 years killing. I spent the next 90 walking in the woods. I've tried to walk a better path since then, but I ain't no saint, Auntie.
Who among us is?
I did not say you were. Having met several so-called saints, I can attest that none of them were either. I understand your discomfort, Samuel. I, too, have done terrible things that I cannot erase. But is erasing the good I have done worthwhile?
Well, I guess when you put it like that, it sounds kind of silly.
It's another cognitive distortion, one that mortal psychologists call disqualifying the positive.
Right. Disqualifying the positive. On account of the nasty stuff I've done, I can feel like a real good for nothing sometimes. But that's disqualifying the positive. Canceling out the good and leaving the bad. It ain't a distortion to see the positive in yourself or in a situation. It's just being honest. Examples. The Three Stooges just smack each other in the heads a bunch, though I still like them. Yeah, I guess I can turn into a bat, but any vampire worth their fangs can do that. Or, she rescued a kitten, but she drinks mortal blood every night, so one good deed means nothing.
I understand that the actions of your past are difficult to bear, but what we are here to do is accept reality, with both its positive and negative aspects. I am not saying that you should disqualify your negative actions, but merely note when you disqualify the positive ones.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely, Andrew. It's very sharp writing, and when it seems like it was very well researched too. Because like from everything I've read, like what we talk about here, it is all based on real cognitive behavioral therapy concepts. I don't think that like there's an actual. I don't know if an actual therapist helped with the writing of the game, but it certainly feels that way.
Let us try an exercise. See whether you can challenge me when I disqualify my positive deeds. I am Andromachos, one of the most powerful vampires alive.
Don't hear anything being disqualified there.
Before I became the vampire I am now, I did exceptionally terrible things.
Again, nothing being disqualified, that is just a factual statement.
I have defiled the innocent. I have killed countless people. The good I now do pales in comparison to the evil I have done.
Okay, there we go.
That's the one. You're literally disqualifying the positive by comparing it to the evil stuff you've done.
Now, okay, if there's one of these cognitive distortions I'm going to be familiar with, it's that one. Disqualifying the positive. Because I did that. I still do that. I have done it for years, decades even. It's like, again, it was like much what I said earlier. It's like and it's what Sam said too. You're always told, don't talk yourself up, don't get a big head, stay humble. But then I think we take that and twist it to where if someone praises us, saying something nice about us, we say, oh no, actually I'm a complete idiot. I'm a total piece of shit. I couldn't possibly merit whatever positive thing you're saying about me. And even if it's done in a self-deprecating manner, if we say it enough, we start to believe it. That's one of the insidious ways our brains work. And like I said, it also, when you say, no, I can't possibly merit any praise. Why would you ever say that? Then the person who's giving you the praise, they feel dumb, and you're insulting them by shooting down their praise of you. And then, as I said, they might be less likely to praise you in the future. And people like being praised, usually.
Well done, Samuel. I believe the recognition of this distortion will serve you well when you start to see clients tomorrow.
Oh, we got an achievement. Holstered up. Learn 5 cognitive distortions. Oh, right. Yeah, he throws us into seeing clients pretty much right away.
Whoa, tomorrow? I only just started learning these here cognitive distortion things.
I will, of course, be with you. You needn't worry. I can sense your instincts and will help you.
But tomorrow, I just don't feel ready yet.
My friend, we are never truly ready. But if it would ease your concerns, we can practice with further examples. Would that be helpful to you?
Okay. Yeah, we'll do. We'll do one round of refreshers just to make absolute sure. But I feel like we're pretty ready.
Yeah, I think I could use the help.
Very well, Samuel. Let's try some examples. I will give you a statement, and you find the cognitive distortion in it. I am far sexier than movie vampires. Therefore, I should be a movie star.
Okay, I feel like that's a pretty textbook should statement.
Oh yeah, that's an easy one. That's a should statement right there. You're not insecure enough to be an actor anyway.
Hi-oh!
Excellent, Samuel. Would you like another exercise?
Okay, one more.
If I cannot consume high-quality blood, I might as well drink blood from Florida.
Oh, damn. Oh, damn. Okay. Okay, but I think so. If yes, that's another if-then statement. It is. I think that is another. That's Nosferatu thinking. That is thinking at the extremes.
That's Nosferatu thinking, ain't it?
Correct, Samuel. That being said, I am sure there is still decent blood to drink in Florida, but I will bring a test kit anyway.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, so I appreciate their qualifying that. It felt like a kind of a cheap shot at Florida. Not everyone is Florida man or Florida woman.
Would you like another exercise?
Let's call it there. I think we're pretty comfortable with what we have.
I think I'm good.
All right, Samuel. You must be hungry now. I suggest you get the liter inside you. We have a big night tomorrow.
How much is a liter?
Oh, Samuel.
Just get enough to drink, Samuel. We will not be able to work if you are hungry or tired. Now, please excuse me. I do have a date with Crimson tonight. I suspect I shall not return until nearly morning.
Oh, yeah, of course. I hope you have a nice night out, Mr. Andy.
Andromachos.
You as well, Samuel. Rest in peace.
Okay, yeah, there's just a little hitch in the giddy up in the loading screen curtains there.
Ah, Samuel, glad to see you are awake. Your first client is on his way.
And again, OBS is telling me my encoding is overloaded. How? Nothing is happening. Anyway. Okay. April 12th, 2024. I learned some more therapy stuff today. Figure I've been doing a lot of this disqualifying the positive thing. I feel like I gotta be humble after the shit I pulled back when I was a bastard, but maybe that's just the shame talking. Andy says I'm ready to start seeing clients now that I got my head wrapped around the whole cognitive distortion thing. Can't believe it's all happening so fast. Went for a nice walk exploring Leipzig. There's a music school here and the kids are always performing stuff. I tried asking for Oh Susanna, but kids today don't appreciate good music. Dang kids and their CD-ROM music. The wax cylinder was fine. Are people in Leipzig do they still have like disk drives? Because I can't find one for the life of me. I have to have an external disk drive I plug in through a USB port if I want to play any discs I have. All right. Anyway.
What, already? Look, Mr. Andy, sir, are you sure I'm ready for this? These are people's brains I'm messing with.
Fear not, my friend. You are a powerful vampire in your own right. To be so young and have so much empathy is quite a gift. All you need to do is listen, and I know the truth will reveal itself to you.
Shucks, wish I had your confidence.
Well, to a limited extent, I can see the future. If you are about to misinterpret a client's distortions, I will set you back on the right path.
Okay, so we're playing with bumpers here. I like that.
You can see the future.
It's not that impressive, really. You start to see the patterns after 1,000 years or so.
There's that disqualifying the positive again.
Well, dang. If seeing the future ain't impressive, that's gotta be a distortion. Disqualifying the positive, it's gotta be.
You barely require my aid as it is. If you need guidance, I will provide it to you telepathically. Don't think about it too much. When you are 3,000, such things will cease to impress you. Let us look at your first client's case file.
Dr. Drayne, huh? He ain't got no first name?
So, Dr. Drayne, age 430. Male, English. Dr. Drayne is a class of 1614 graduate of the Royal College of Physicians. He has been studying the nature of blood for the last several centuries. Became a vampire after a post-mortem blood transfusion experiment, now runs a global pharmaceutical research company. Is now concerned that he has developed an addiction to a drug of his own formulation. Suggestion: detected strong irritability on the phone, investigates Drayne's drinking and sleeping habits. Okay, all that the same.
Many vampires go by one name. Families and titles seem to become more abstract after a certain age.
Huh. So is it funny that he kept the title?
Indeed. You catch on quickly, despite your habit of disqualifying the positive. I will let you work now. I shall be meditating in my coffin, but I will sense when you need my help.
But
Samuel, I know you can handle this. Be yourself, and all will be well.
Remember, he did say he can see the future, so if he says he knows you can handle it, be pretty sure you can handle it.
Satan bless it all, I hate flying!
Well, he seems like a peach.
Oh, hey there. God's blood, what on earth are you?
Okay, Amelia, if he's like 430, but he is dressed in modern garb, and I guess Sam is rather consistent in his sartorial choices.
My name's Sam. I'm the new therapist. Make yourself comfortable, Dr. Drayne. And American as well. Good God, it's not enough for you lot to take over the world of the living. Even the halls of the dead aren't safe from you. Oh well, I suppose your lot are all into this touchy-feely stuff, aren't you?
Maybe this touchy-feely stuff, not that other kind of touchy-feely stuff, especially if this game is anything to go by.
And ignorance, even American ignorance, is bliss, I suppose. Oh, sweet ignorance, how I do wish I knew thee. Damn it, how am I gonna work with this fella? I gotta ask Annie.
Are you all right, Samuel?
You gave me this fella as my first client?
Why not? He is clearly hiding very little about his state of mind.
Yeah, he's pissed.
How am I supposed to help him when he already sees me as the bad guy?
Use your instincts, Samuel. Think about how you have felt in your darkest hours. What does this poor vampire want?
Reality check. He wants to leave, or what? No, I think well, he clearly wants to complain.
I think he just wants to complain.
Perceptive, Samuel. He can hardly stop himself, can he?
He can hardly do anything else.
So what? I just let him complain?
Of course. Just give him a starting point to let it all out. It will make him feel better.
Well, if you say so.
Don't worry, Samuel. You are doing wonderfully. I will release your time now.
Well, are you just going to sit there? I was just going to ask how your trip here was. My trip? My trip was bloody wonderful. Until my familiar got a flat tire and I had to fly 30 kilometers here as a bat. I hate being a bat and I hate flying. Do you know an owl tried to eat me? Me, a creature that has lived for centuries, treated like common prey. I'm surprised he was even interested. You should see what an ugly little beastie I am when I transform.
Okay, there's some labeling going on there.
All I could do was screech and squeak until he went away. Well, I suppose I'm alive, in a manner of speaking anyway. You all right there, pal? Yes, I'm fine. Well, I'm not, of course. I wouldn't be here otherwise. But for the sake of conversational integrity, fine.
For the sake of conversational integrity. There we go. I like that.
I take it you read my case file and know why I'm here?
Yeah, he's addicted to something that was of his own making.
You're here for an addiction problem. Yes. Embarrassing, isn't it? What's to be embarrassed about? I remember when Ulysses S. Grant was president. Didn't seem to bother him. Oh, well, of course. How wonderful it is that I share the mental failings of people who only live a single lifetime. Hey, come on now. There's a part of us that's still mortal. Can't help that, just like we can't help being dead.
There we go. Yep, touching back to the vampires holding on to their humanity thing.
So I'm discovering. Look, I just need some tips and I'll be on my way. Just give me all the tricks. Whatever one does to make addictions go away. Tips? Let me think.
Okay, yeah, he definitely does not see. Well, for one, he's English, so physical affection maybe not necessarily the thing for him. Something tasty, a milder addiction. Yeah. I mean, really, there are no easy solutions.
Partner, there ain't no tips that'll magically cure you, but I'm here to listen.
Okay, but I would love to believe that, Ruak, but I think I mean, the guy comes across so prickly, and so Englishly. I don't know. I question. A hug might help 100% much of the time. I just question whether he is in a state to receive hugs. How about that?
You know, I never in my life thought anyone would ever call me partner. Like partner, but not with a T. And I know how you English love your tea. Thank goodness we can still process tea. We cannot live on blood alone.
See? Very English.
I appreciate the concern, though. I must admit, I rather saw myself above this whole addiction thing.
Why?
I tell you what, let's not worry about being above or below anything. You're here now, so let's see what we can do. What exactly are you addicted to? It's a form of plasma, a catalytic compound of my own design, a necessary component of my own scientific goals. You're losing me. Well, let me try to make it simple. I have been able to replicate and even alter the molecular patterns that vampiric erythrocyte surface receptors receive.
Okay, when do we get to the simple part?
Our unique physiology gives us an increased ligand affinity, which is how we are able to process blood the way that we do. I can extend this receptivity and thus achieve my true goal: synthetic blood, freedom from the hunger that plagues us, and hope for all humanity.
So he made synthetic blood. So it's like synthetic oil, but presumably tastier.
Well, dang, that sounds pretty impressive, Doc. Well, it doesn't work without a vampiric catalyst, and that is the plasma I am addicted to. Pathetic, isn't it? I have spent 400 years trying to steal the secret of blood, only to be engulfed by it, like Prometheus walking into a fireplace. Pathetic? Doc, where the heck would you get a word like that? You've come up with a synthetic blood. Man, I can barely get my spurs on some mornings. Maybe you've had a setback or two, but give yourself a little credit, compadre. Credit? For wasting 400 years? Practically speaking, I'm in the same place as I was back when King James was in power. Only now I have a drug problem. Perhaps I must face facts. My professor was right. Nothing we ever do will make a damned bit of difference.
So we've had labeling, we've had disqualifying the positive, and now, I guess, control fallacy?
Samuel, listen to him. Do you recognize his patterns of thought?
There's some distortions in there, ain't there?
I knew you would sense them. Invite him to talk more about this failure of his.
I'll do my best. Now hold on just a minute there, cowpoke. I've heard you talk a lot about failure, but it sure sounds to me like you ain't thinking clearly if you think you're a failure. I am a realist, that's all. Look at me. 400 years of study and still dabbling with leukocytes.
Yeah, clearly disqualifying every single positive thing he's ever done.
I don't know many people who would call working with leukocytes dabbling. I mean, I gotta admit, I have no earthly clue what you're talking about. So unless you made up all them science terms, I think you might be doing more than playing with a chemistry set. Perhaps, but if we consider all there is to know about blood, I know precious little. But you know something. Yes, I concede I might know something about blood. I would hope so after 400 years. You still got more knowledge about blood than most, whether it's been 4 years or 400 years, amigo. Let's get back to what you were saying, though. I'm saying I am surely the oldest, most well-studied doctor in the world. I should have achieved more than this.
Says who?
Well, who said you should have achieved more? Isn't it obvious? I should have something to show for 400 years of work.
Doesn't answer the question. Says who?
And what happens if you don't? Absolutely nothing at all. Well, that's my point. That is not as encouraging as you think it is. Ain't meant to be encouraging, just showing you a little reality. Well, it's all my fault, really. I cannot seem to motivate my scientists to reach the necessary level of dedication. It's always shocking to me how little urgency mortals have around death.
Okay, that's... Yeah, so he's assuming a level of control over his scientists that maybe he doesn't have. Especially mortal scientists. You know how finicky they can be.
So it's all your fault that you haven't come up with the perfect synthetic blood.
So we got Master of the Mind. We get 20 distortions in a row.
It can't be anyone else's fault. Only I have the skill, the knowledge, and the experience. Pardon me for saying so, Doc, but it sounds like what you're doing is pretty dang complicated. It sounds to me like you're some kind of god if you expect control over life itself. Please, I am a scientist, not a spiritualist. It is not control I seek, but understanding. And are you ever going to have perfect understanding?
Now be the entire game without a... Well, okay, here's the thing, though. From what I saw, like so in the demo, we had 2 clients. I think I know we have at least 2 more from some of the screenshots I've seen. So we're going to be totally flying blind with those other 2. So a hitless run, I doubt it.
No, of course not. I'm not a wizard. So how about not putting saving the world on one person, Doc? That is a simplification, but I take your point. As I was saying, now that I'm addicted to my own drug, I have joined the ranks of mortal celebrities in my utter irrelevance.
Okay. Okay. It's not a should statement. It's not disqualifying the positive, I don't think. He is calling himself irrelevant. So that could be seen as labeling. It could be also, Nosferatu thinking, in that he's that he's addicted to his own drug, and therefore, he's wiped out everything. I lean toward labeling. It's the first part of the statement that kind of makes me wonder. Like the second half, clear labeling. We'll try labeling.
Now, why would you go and label yourself irrelevant? What else do you call a man who has nothing to show after 400 years?
You got synthetic blood. That's not nothing.
I reckon I'd call him by his given name. Slapping a label on yourself don't do nothing but weigh you down. Oh, well played, cowpoke. Perhaps I am being a little dramatic. Yes, I'm aware that in reality progress has been made, enough to get to this point.
Well, you didn't say that, now did you?
But I didn't come here to ask for a pat on the back and to be told I'm a good boy. That ain't my department, but I hear they do some of that stuff downstairs.
Among other things.
Yes, we all know very well that the Continentals are more sexually liberated than we are.
that sexually.
But as I say, I don't want all this therapy stuff. I just want to stop using this damn drug. Well, so what's so good about this stuff anyway? Why do you like it? I'm not certain. I don't remember what happens after I take it, but I wake up feeling, how do I put this, alive. Well, that don't sound so bad. A good nap can make me feel like a new man. I'm not talking about feeling refreshed. I mean I feel alive. As if I'm someone else, someone who lives. And I wake up and find, oh gracious me, I am not depressed. You mean to tell me that you're going to sleep depressed every night? Oh, nothing of the sort.
Okay.
Oh well, I'm glad to hear that. You are assuming that I can simply go to sleep and my global scientific enterprise will run itself.
Yeah, he doesn't sleep, does he?
Oh, wait just a gosh darn minute. You're telling me you don't sleep? Yes, it's not as though we can get much deader already, and I have work to do.
There we go.
So you're not sleeping, and you're always depressed. I think we're starting to get somewhere.
Oh, don't be such a bumpkin. If you are a sapient individual, aware of the world around you, depression is the only sensible reaction. It has nothing to do with sleep.
Okay, yeah, that strikes me as very much black and white thinking.
Come on now, it's a big world out there, and different things are depressing to different people. Everyone reacts to things differently. Ain't it true that a sensible person, as you call them, might even be a different degree of depressed?
Very well, I suppose I might have been using a bit of mild hyperbole.
Mild is putting it mildly, buckaroo.
Buckaroo? Now I'm even more depressed. Regardless, I didn't come here to be a whiner. Oh, boo-hoo, life is hard. Yes, we all know it's hard.
Okay, no, this is more labeling. He's called himself a whiner. You came here to talk.
Now, why'd you say coming and talking to me makes you a whiner?
Is that not what I currently am?
Sounds to me like you're expressing yourself. Whiner is the word you used. Yeah, if you want to call it whining, that's up to you. But that's entirely your label.
Oh, very well, call it moaning or whinging if you prefer.
Moaning, whinging, bellyaching, still all just labels.
I don't believe I shall be using the term bellyaching in any case.
Maybe give it a try sometime. It's fun.
But as I was saying, in the moments I wake up, I feel free. I suppose it must be what being an ignoramus feels like.
Okay, not should. It's not assuming control or a lack thereof. It's not really black or white thinking. You could kind of see it disqualifying the positive, but it's not disqualifying feeling free. You think labeling, Andrea? You could definitely make that argument. Let's try it.
You honestly think feeling good makes you an ignoramus?
The phrase ignorance is bliss is most apt, don't you think?
It'll be the second time you've used that. Doesn't make it true.
But by calling yourself an ignoramus, you're making bliss something to be avoided.
Yes, unfortunate how that works, isn't it? The only way to be happy is by being a fool.
Partner, those are your labels. Try using something more positive and see how you feel.
What, shall I say that by being ignorant, I am a noble genius?
Or maybe don't call yourself ignorant?
Still just labels.
Oh, very well. I suppose I might be discounting my experience.
I don't know how to say this, amigo. You really don't like letting yourself be happy. Honestly, I'm failing to see the problem with taking this stuff. Seems like it's making you get the rest you need and it makes you feel good. What's the problem?
First of all, I do not need to rest. And partaking of this plasma does have downsides.
What kind of downsides?
I do not know what happens when I partake of the substance. However, when I wake up, I feel refreshed. But I also smell of blood and sex.
Oh, sex. Well, no wonder you're horrified.
Once I even woke up wearing a football jersey. It was most distasteful.
Oh, heavens, heaven forfend.
I guess you must be having some kind of good time.
That is not my idea of a good time. I'm Dr. Drayne. I am intelligent and worldly, not some ill-bred monster. I don't go gallivanting into godforsaken places to engage in depraved coitus and the consumption of dirty blood.
Dirty how?
It sounds to me like you're real good at denying yourself things.
Well, I should be better at it.
I mean, doesn't leave much room for interpretation there.
You know, Doc, a wise old vampire recently told me something I'm about to tell you. You keep talking about the things you should be doing. You, compadre, are shoulding all over yourself.
Okay, see, that only works with a certain accent, I think.
Oh, well, that is vivid, isn't it? I can now add incontinence to my already considerable list of faults.
I'm being serious. I'm listening to you tell me I should be doing this, and I shouldn't be doing that. But who gave you all them shoulds and shouldn'ts?
I don't know. It shouldn't matter, should it? I've been dead for over 400 years.
It's the oldest stuff that sticks with us, amigo. We all got traumas. Heck, we're dead men. That's traumatic no matter what. What we gotta start with is you. You've been through a lot. Don't rope yourself up so tight. Listen, we're doing good work already, I know it. Now, let's not push too hard. I would really like you to think about where all them shoulds are coming from before we meet again. And be good to yourself, all right, partner? Don't feel like you gotta go cold turkey on that plasma stuff.
Yes, well, all the same, I'd rather not do it at all.
Is that actually gonna happen, though?
It might.
You're dipping into it tonight, aren't you?
Mm-hmm. He sure is.
I was thinking about it.
All right, partner. Just give yourself a little compassion. That's all I'm asking.
I'll admit, you've given me some things to think about. Not pleasant ones, mind.
You can handle it, partner. You're way smarter than I am.
Yes, well, that is certainly true. Very well. I shall do some reflecting, inasmuch as our kind can reflect. I shall see you in precisely 4 weeks, then. Farewell, Sam.
Okay, so 4 weeks. So if we have 4 clients, we're going to see 1 client per week. So how many times are we going to see them, though? Like that'll determine how long this game's going to go.
Masterfully done, Samuel. I knew you would do well, but that doesn't make me any less pleased.
Oh, we got double achievement. First Blood Part 2, and have a flawless client session. Nice. We even got a shiny achievement.
Well, that was a hell of a rush. That fella's holding on tighter than a holster to a gunslinger's hip. It felt real good to help him look at himself a little more kindly.
Good, Samuel. Treasure this feeling. But also rest. Go downstairs, get something to drink, relax in your coffin. Next week you shall see a new client. I think they will be an interesting challenge for you. I bid you good evening, Samuel. Rest in peace.
You too, Andy. Well, I guess it's time I got me some grub. Well, that's it, I guess. My first client. Can't believe I'm doing this therapy stuff already.
Hang on. I'm going to try turning the graphics down to medium. Don't worry about it. I fear something is like if it's not going to mess with anything too much, yeah, we'll just ignore it. I see text that shouldn't be there, and I panic.
Sure could use a drink. I'll check in with Crimson.
Well, if it isn't Yosemite Sam, how you doing tonight, partner?
Better already, hearing from someone from the States who knows the lingo.
I'm not from any states, cowpoke. District of Columbia girl here.
I figured you must have been coastal. You sound a little more polished than I do.
You should hear my German.
Maybe some other time. My brain's full tonight. I had my first therapy session with a real client.
Oh, yeah? How do you think it went?
Well, it seemed to go okay.
I reckon it was a bullseye on my end. You should have seen me. Labeling, blam, disqualifying the positive, kapow.
I'm glad to hear it. Someone has got to sort these vamps out. They know how to hold on to their problems.
You ain't kidding. Living or dead, once people hit 70, they get pretty dang set in their ways.
You know Andy still uses a typewriter? I can't get that gorgeous man to see the light.
Maybe he likes the little clickety-clackety sounds.
Keep it up, cowboy. You're a breath of fresh air for these ancient ones.
Anyone ever tell you you're wise beyond your years, Crimson? You must have had some life.
Afraid I'm exactly as wise as my years. How old do you think I am, cowboy?
Nope. It's a tarp.
I'm gonna do the gentlemanly thing and not hazard a guess.
You would have gotten it wrong anyway. I'm 50 years young.
50. Exactly, Andrea. That's a trap.
50? I died around that age and I look like shit. But you ain't a vampire.
Like I told you, I'm Andy's blood partner. He shares his blood with me too, just not enough to turn me into one of you. I've been 30 for a good while now.
But you ain't joining our team? Sounds like a story.
Not for tonight, buckaroo. I bet you're thirsty after a big night. Andy told me to give this to you.
Oh yeah? What is it?
We had a group of Americans come in last week who donated their blood.
Ugh, American tourists.
Andy can't stand the stuff. He says the blood glucose levels are too high, but he thought you'd appreciate it.
Oh, it ain't so bad. I gotta ask though, what does Andy's blood taste like?
Oh. Hey, Jen, good to see you. Welcome, welcome. How is your Friday going? Hope you're doing fantastically. Yeah, we are just trying out a fun little game I saw on the Next Fest, and I had so much fun with it. I had to jump straight in once it became available, and it is now out in full release.
To me, it tastes like life itself, cowboy.
I ain't sure I understand.
Never you mind. Look, Tex, I've got some customers to serve, so go enjoy your juice, okay?
Yeah, it's a really interesting. It's unlike any other game I've seen. It's a kind of a visual novel kind of thing, but it's based off of like real cognitive behavioral therapy techniques. We're playing Sam Walls, a vampire from the American Old West. So we've come to modern day Leipzig, Germany, to learn how to be a therapist for other vampires. And you see, so we've been coached up with all these different, they call them cognitive distortions, and so we pick them out both in our client's speech and in ourselves, because at the same time as we are being a therapist, we are also receiving therapy ourselves from Andromachos, a 3,000-year-old vampire, and and it's really sharp writing. It's got a lot of heart to it, and I can say the descriptions of some of the cognitive distortions hit worryingly close to home in ways I know I think myself.
Oh, of course. I'm keen to get some rest anyway. You have yourself a fine night, Crimson.
There he is, my incredible protege.
There we go. And this is Andromachos. Actually, I tell you what, since we're in between sessions here, let me go ahead and do the needful here, since we have so many fantastic people in chat.
Okay, scary. I like it in the house. Oh wait, I should do this. Okay. All right. Okay, let's go look under this truck. I'm just gonna crouch everywhere. You guys wouldn't care if we. Oh look! Oh gosh! Oh gosh! Oh crap! Oh crap! Oh crap! Oh crap! Oh gosh! Oh my gosh, you guys! I'm not gonna survive this challenge.
And that bear's always there when it shouldn't be, is there?
Holy crap! I forgot he's here. Ah, okay, let's just take a moment and breathe. It's me.
Yeah, bear
I forget
pops.
what this thing does. Does
Bear
it
pops
grant
up
the
when you least want
sigil?
him to be there.
Because if so, I forget how this works. Oh. It did grant the sigil, and I...
Come on now. I have
Okay,
no idea
I
what I'm
think
doing.
that didn't launch.
Need to find some place to escape this call.
That's like a music rap. What is my first arrow, guys?
Remember, all animals are working as intended. Actually, so the... Oh, hang on. No, my ramblings. Actually, so we took a week. All right. I met my first client tonight, and hoo boy, he did not like me much. It sounds as though he didn't like anybody much, though, so I can't be too disappointed. Poor fella, I ain't ever seen someone so high-strung. Well, maybe Pussifer Jones. 80 years later, and the memory of him still makes me laugh. That kid even hated John Muir, and I think all his animals loved him. She would hiss even when eating her food. It was the darndest thing. I picked up that this Dr. Drayne is a real should statement kind of fella, but I think I can help him out. If I can get him to take a nap, I think he'll be a lot less grumpy.